Hello everyone, how are you doing? My name's Ryan Kelly and I'm going to be hosting another episode of Know Your Bosses. Know Your Bosses, if you're not aware, is a show where I will review some of the most classic bosses to the lesser known ones. I will rank them based on their difficulty, creativity, appearance, and fighting style. In the end, the boss will get a rank from 1, avoid the fight, to 10, pursue the fight. So now that I've quickly gone over the rules, we can talk about the boss we'll be fighting today. Today, I'm going to be discussing location. Super Mario 3D World is a traditional linear Mario game, so Motley Bossblob's location is pretty basic. He appears in World 6C, Motley Bossblob's Big Battle, World Bowser A, Motley Bossblob's Encore, and World Flower 12, Boss Blitz. His arena is flat and circular, so it's pretty basic, and there's no real obstacles that you have to deal with in order to get to his fight. Boss information. Motley Bossblob was first introduced in Super Mario 3D World in 2013, and it's from the Sprixie Kingdom. He's classified as a species of Koopa. You might not think this because his name doesn't have any correlation to the Koopa family. Speaking of his name, it has a pretty interesting meaning behind it. The word Motley means incongruously varied in appearance or character. Since he has various different forms, this name fits him very well. His name in Japanese is Basu Banretsu. Basu means boss, and Banrusu means to split. This name makes sense because he does split into various different forms. Speaking of his different forms, both his blob clown formation and his regular form have different color variations based on what level you're fighting him in. In the first world, World 6C, his blob clown formation is silver and his jester clothing is red and blue. In the second fight, World Bowser A, his clown formation is gold and his jester clothing is green and purple. And in the third fight, World Flower 12, his blob clown formation is red and his jester clothings are blue and pink. An interesting fact about Motley Bossblob's hat color in his first appearance is that it resembles Mark's hat from the Kirby series, but with a switched color palette. Strategy. Before getting the fight with Motley Bossblob, you should have either 2 cat suits, 2 boomerang suits, or have one of each. The cat suit will make it easier to jump over the mini blobs, and the boomerang suit has boomerangs that you can throw to hit the gesture more easily. Now, the fight with Motley Bossblob is pretty simple. As I mentioned earlier, he has 2 different forms. In the clown blob formation, he turns into a huge metallic blob that jumps around and tries to hit you. In the second and third fight with him, he will be able to create shockwaves every time he jumps. Once he does his final jump, he will go into his regular form. In this form, he has a bunch of tiny blobs that came from the blob clown formation that block the path of the gesture. I would recommend that you try to avoid popping as many blobs as you can, because once he turns back into the blob clown formation, all the blobs that you just popped will return and your work will be pointless. Instead of trying to pop all the mini blobs, you should go and get the cherry power-up that he drops after going into his regular form, and jump towards a gesture. Once you hit him 3 times, he dies. Final thoughts. Before I start this section of the video, I want to let you guys know that I've changed the style of the final thoughts section. Instead of me giving the gameplay, difficulty, fun factor, and creativity their own ranking, I'm just going to be talking about how each one plays in my final score for the boss. Anyway, now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's start this section. Motley Bossblob's fight makes good use of the new cherry power-up, but I feel like that fight's a little bit repetitive. It will jump into his blob clown formation, and then he'll run in his regular form while you have to get through the mini blobs that he leaves behind. Run to repeat this 2 more times, and then he'll die. This could be redeemable if his attacks were harder to dodge. Oh, and the mini blobs are a pain because all they do is slow you down and make the fight drag on for longer than it needs to. Oh, and to top it all off, you have to fight him 3 times. However, he does have an interesting appearance, and its color schemes are different for each of the 3 fights. Not that the quality of the graphics of a game can affect the ranking of a boss, but this game does have pretty good graphics and it makes the boss look better. I actually enjoyed fighting Motley Bossblob the first time I encountered it, but the second time I didn't enjoy the fight as much as I previously did, and the 3rd time I fought it, I was annoyed with how the fight didn't change. So with all that in mind, my final score for Motley Bossblob is a 4 out of 10. The reason why I gave him a 4 out of 10 is because of his clever design, how it makes good use of the cherry power-up, and how this is not a normal type of boss that's in a linear Mario game. Usually bosses in linear games consist of Boom Boom, Pom Pom, and or the Koopalings. Also, Motley Bossblob has a lot of interesting facts that I didn't know about it, which is always a nice touch to a boss. Unfortunately, the fight gets ruined because of how generic the attacks are and how boring the fight can be. So, what do you think about this boss? Do you think this boss deserves a higher or lower ranking? Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed the video or not. Also, make sure to click the like button if you liked the video, and hit that subscriber button if you enjoyed the content. Thank you guys for watching. My name's Ryan Kelly, and I'll see you in the next episode of Know Your Bosses. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Know Your Bosses, because don't worry, there's going to be even more coming. The next Know Your Bosses should be about Shadow of the Colossus, but you never know, I could change things around. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure to go watch more Know Your Bosses if you haven't already. Also, my kyphosis is really bad right now. And by the way, that's the name of it, kyphosis. I was saying it wrong in all the previous videos, but I'm finally saying it right now, kyphosis. Alright, that's all I gotta say. Thank you guys again for watching the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.